tell us where we are when it comes to mental health in the UAE workplace and what can be done to improve it?
So, when it comes to the workplace in the UAE, mental health has always taken a backseat. You can look at, for example, how the insurance companies don't cover mental health services here. Most companies, for example, they don't offer or allow for off days when it comes to mental health, any issues that an employee would have. So the first thing is we need to look at it as important as we see physical health. Another thing is something that we can do to improve it. Now, keep in mind, COVID, the silver lining of it was that a lot of mental health awareness has come up. And few companies have taken a step or taken initiative to take care of their employees in that regard, but only few and far between. There still needs to be more to be done. So one thing that can be done is the people in the management or in the HR positions, they need to be the ones to start the conversations. A lot of people or employees fear starting the conversation because they think maybe I might not get promoted, I might get fired. The ones who are taking interviews for those positions will not mention it because they fear that they might get eliminated in the interviewing process and such. So it needs to start from the higher ups and then down. There are also lots of organizations in the UAE that provide corporate well-being programs that HR and management can take into consideration and also take active part or do something about it and not just, oh, this is very interesting, okay, awesome. Data says that 1 in 4 people suffer from a mental health disorder. So just look at the number of employees that you have. There is no way that none of them is going to know anything. They're probably too scared to speak up about it. So that is something to keep in mind. Ultimately, the best thing to do would be for the governments to push the mandate for companies to make sure that the insurance plans for their employees do cover the mental health services.
Thank you. How to cope with difficult conversation at the work atmosphere?
So, to have difficult conversations with whoever, employee or colleague or co-founder, we can try to dumb down the conversation or gaslight or go just do it like that. Don't ask questions. You need to see them like intelligent human beings, have a proper conversation with them, and be very honest and transparent. And tell them, listen, there needs to be a difficult conversation that has to take place. I'm afraid that I might say something that might hurt your feelings by accident or will make you and me both uncomfortable, but it needs to take place. And I would appreciate your cooperation on tackling this issue together. So honesty and then treating them properly. Employees, colleagues, whoever, needs to be the same.
Thank you. What do you think that the manager can do to help their employee within their mental issues? Improve their mental issues?
As in managers? Right. So, first of all, there needs to be the managers need to understand, actually everyone needs to understand, that the stigma surrounding mental health makes it very difficult to have a conversation. So like I mentioned earlier, the ones in higher positions need to be the ones who start the conversation. There needs to be education first on the topic as well. You can't start talking about something if you don't know anything about it. So you need to educate yourself on that. This might be hard for some people to hear, but a lot of managers are the reason why their employees do have those mental health problems. They're literally the reason. So take a step back and reflect. Read up on this, see how you can improve yourself and improve the environment at your work. And like I said, there are organizations that do provide those mental wellness programs. You can reach out to them, you can take courses yourself. the ultimate goal is to always have a healthy work environment. I mean, they spend, 8 hours a day in the office, 5 days a week, 4.5 now. At some point, they're considered family, right? I mean, it's not exactly the best environment if it's very toxic, and you just kind of want to push through, and then the first opportunity that comes, you just want to leave. In the end, that is because of how the manager manage the situations at the office, how they speak to them, and all of that. Now, another thing that we can do is, like I said, when you start the conversation with the employees, sometimes it's different for each team. So you need to ask them what they would like. Some of them even will tell you that they would appreciate more flexible hours because keep in mind they have lives outside the work. There are parents, they have doctor's appointments, they need to drop off their kids somewhere, their child is sick, they would like to work from home. I think we all understand after this COVID situation that people can work from home. I mean, if you can do it as your boss, they can as well. So allow for that. And sometimes it's trial and error to see what the right balance would be, but you can't always be rigid about it. This is the only way because it's my way. That is something you need to let go of. But that is it.
Well, thank you. I would like actually to focus more on the pandemic and the issues. So the pandemic basically hit everything in our life. And working remotely is one of these. So how did you see that within your business, and how do you integrate that within the team?
So I started basically after the lockdown, but still during the pandemic. And I can't give you a before and after the situation. I actually asked them to leave the office. I asked what they would prefer. There are some days they want to work from home, and a lot of them, most of them said that they prefer having to come to the office and separating their work environment from their home environment. And some days, if someone wants to work from home, that's also fine by me. As long as they understand their responsibilities, their deliverables, everything else is fine. There is no right or wrong, as in, it's not a doctor that needs to be in the clinic to do something, right? Sometimes virtually is enough. That is how I manage the situation, but I can't give you a before and after on the productivity. But like I said, allowing for flexibility does improve productivity. Just on that note, there's very critical data to keep in mind that the cost of loss of productivity is very high, and for every dollar invested in mental health, $4 of productivity are returned. So that is just something to keep in mind.
This is very interesting. Thank you for the information. I actually like to add something on the women side, since this is the International Women Day. So can you please focus and give us some of your tips about how you are dealing with the women with all of these challenges that we are having now?
Sure. So first of all, happy International Women's Day to everyone here. The reality is biology. Women are biologically different than men. We're stronger. I mean, I see a lot of smiles. You would understand, right? I don't think a man can handle first day of period cramps or can go through pregnancy and giving birth. I'm just saying. Now, so 50%. I mean, they're right over there.
You can overpower them.
Okay, guys, just keep this in mind. You all have families and employees.
No, it is true. It's true.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
No, we actually completing each other. So yes, we just have to also
We have different strengths.
different strengths and different things. We cannot live without them. They cannot live without us. So yes, but everybody has his own area where he can, focus and manage, and also all of that.
Exactly. Yes. So 50% of the population is women, and it's only logical to have, to design the workplace to be all inclusive, and not just a boys' club, as has been done in the past. We all have our differences. And because we're different, we bring different things to the table. So we should appreciate our differences and celebrate them by raising our voices so that, we get the support and the changes, they need to take place when they already should have taken place a long time ago. But, that is the purpose of having, talks like this and trying to raise awareness about even tiny topics, because it all plays into the bigger picture.
Thank you very much for that information. If you would like to add anything, please feel free. Sure.
I would like to ask you, I'm sure that everybody has experienced it.
Women feel more reluctant to share about their emotions and their feelings, and at the same time, they are usually more secretive about their mental health. Like, nobody wants to admit I'm going through something, right? And in your experience, let's connect it to the workplace. In your experience, how do you feel women can be encouraged and can be given the confidence to talk about the problems that they are facing and to talk about their mental health issues?
So I think that also circles back to the point I mentioned earlier, that having people in higher positions start the conversation is important. More importantly, having more women in leadership, because that also facilitates the conversations. I mean, I totally understand what you're talking about. But again, sometimes the employees need to have the guts to speak to that tough boss or something. But you, as a modern woman working in higher positions, and you're attending, for example, this talk, and others are attending other talks, whatever it is, you're now aware of the importance of starting this conversation. It might be awkward, it might be weird, but it needs to be taken. And like I said, some days are tough more than others, and there needs to be allowance for days off in those situations. They need to be looked at, just like if I tell you, I have a severe migraine and I need to visit the doctor, I hope it's okay if I just, I'd like to take the day off and just use my sick leave or something. I should be able to say, I'm not having the best day, this or that is going on, and I would also like to take the day off. It can be, I can talk about this and just push through today and just I don't know. For me personally, I think it's more important to have more empathetic leaders and for them to enhance or grow their emotional intelligence soft skills.
Yes, true. Thank you so much.
Okay, so she asked me, what does Baytuki mean? Baytuki literally translates to your house, but in Arabic, addressing a female. So it's a platform that enables Emirati women to make micro investments in real estate, and our aim is to empower, educate, and enable Emirati women of all ages and income brackets towards financial prosperity. Simply due to the fact that it's a very overlooked and untapped market. Thank you for the question.
Actually, I like the name. I mean, when I read it, I say, wow, this is very nice. Thank you. Thank you for all the information that you have given us today. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you.